Hello and good afternoon. This is Gideon's Tech in 20 minutes. Please come with me as we share these stories. So in the US, Lindsey Graham is being held. His funeral service is being held today, whereby people who are notable figures, that is the heads of states, have been noticed to go to his funeral service, including Mr. Trump, the US President, Netanyahu, Zelensky, and many other notable people. So here, Lindsey Graham was the senator of South Carolina, and is also lenient towards the right side of the US politics. That is a ardent Republican. So you understand, Republicans always support their Republican leaders. So let us first look back into how Lindsey Graham has grown to be a notable Republic leader. So in 2016, Graham had stood on the crossroads with President Trump, whereby he said that when the US people choose or decide to elect President Trump, Trump is going to lead US into a very bad situation, and they are going to regret it, and they will deserve it because they chose him knowing that President Trump is not a very good person. He also said that President Trump was not fit to be a president, or was not fit for presidency. That caused a lot of chaos between President Trump and Graham, even to a point whereby President Trump gave out the number of Lindsey Graham, that is the personal number of Lindsey Graham, having a lot of people to call him and also disturb him a lot. You know what this means? It means that if you have most of people calling you for no good reason, there are a lot of disturbance, and you cannot pick calls at the same time when a lot of people are calling. And because even when your people you will be calling your number, they'll find that the number is busy because it is too busy receiving calls from everywhere. So Lindsey Graham went to discard that number. Even when Trump was giving a speech today during his funeral service, he said that at some point in that crossroads, he's the one who gave out his number. He also read the numbers, that is a phone number, during the funeral service, and said that time was difficult for him. But once he became the president, Lindsey Graham looked around and said, oh yeah, so the American people have decided to elect President Trump. So I would not be mad for me supporting him, because you understand what it means. Once someone assumes an office of the presidency, it does not matter who they are, but the presidency, that position, the seat of the president, means a lot, because that's where the signatures come from. That's where he can command the armed forces from. That's where he can just make any decision about the country, and the people will have to obey because he is the president. So Graham chose to make peace with Trump, and even became one of his best friends. One of the things that are notable among the people that are trying to describe Lindsey Graham, is that he was a warlord. He could instigate, or he could just persuade American people to go into wars, and he could also describe these wars very clearly, such that the American people will see them as worthwhile, even including the war in Iran, the war in Ukraine. In fact, before he came to pass, or before his last days, just the day before he was pronounced dead, he had gone to Ukraine, and he was seen holding the drones that have been made by Ukraine, which are hitting the Russian shops and hitting the Russian vehicles, that is the army vehicles, and even disrupting the transport in the Black Sea and all over Russia. So Lindsey Graham means that he was someone who understood American wars better than anyone. It was also a very great link between the state, that is the White House, and the Congress, at the Senate, whereby he could deliver presidents a message and also persuade these people to vote according to what the president wants. So the moment that you see Graham passing on, it means that there is a dent that has been made. Also, when you look at the people who are coming to attend his funeral service, including Zelensky and Netanyahu, it means that he was in good terms with them, and also he could persuade or talk to Trump about those two countries and about those people, so that they can get support for these countries, so that they can keep fighting the wars that they engaged in. He was a very instrumental to Ukraine, because Ukraine needs a lot of support from the US, including the weaponry, including sensitive information that is it is called including just getting whatever they are planning and everything. So they could just get all these things from American, and Lindsey was one of the most links, or he linked these countries to the most prominent or the most important person in the American soil. That is the person who occupies the White House. It didn't matter who was there. As much as he's a Republican, Lindsey was willing to sacrifice his character, to sacrifice his morals and ethics, so that he can get things done. So you understand, sometimes when people in your country start sacrificing their morals and they look as stupid as they can, as Kenyans say, when someone joins the leading or the governing body, they suddenly become stupid. Because as Kenyans, we expect that when someone goes to the government, like for instance, when the ODM joined UDA, we expect that the ODM will be as fierce as they were when they were not in the government. But contrary to what we expected, when ODM joined UDA, they started singing the songs that UDA was singing, just saying that Kenyans are not understanding what is happening in the government, and the government is trying its best, whatever government is doing is the best for the country. So we could not understand why these people are just talking for the government instead of talking for the people, because when they are on the other side, on the opposition, they could speak very clearly about what the people want, and they could speak the language of the people. But when they cross on the other side, now they become dumb. They're not dumb. These are people who just want to sacrifice everything so that they can work with the government, or else these people just see that they go into the government side and they see how things are, then they decide that, okay, you are criticizing the government, but now we can see clearly what was happening. I don't know. But according to the news and the reporters from the US, they are saying that Lindsey was a big critic of the president, and the current president of the USA, that Trump, and his outspokenness made him cross paths with Trump, and it was nasty at that moment. However, they became friends as time went on, and he convinced him in so many ways to do things that the US has been doing, supporting Netanyahu and his government, supporting Zelensky and the Ukrainian people. And also, you can see the friendship between those people. They are being instigated by how the wars are going. Going ahead, Apple has introduced a way of people to trade in their Apple gadgets. Either it is a MacBook, it is an iPhone, it is Apple Watch. You can just go and take the previous model and get a new model, then the difference, you pay for the difference. Let us assume, for instance, when the new model comes, that is iPhone 18, and let us say it is being sold for 1,000, then they go and just check at your iPhone 17 and they say that it is worth around $600. You just be requested to pay $400. You leave your iPhone 17 and you get your iPhone 18. In fact, they are going to be producing a new models of iPhone 18 starting in September, because they produce new models every year. So to the people who have pressure of what iPhone is producing, you can start looking at what 18 offers. And these are some of the things that are going to be happening in the US. This is not yet in Kenya, but we hope that one day you are going to get such deals whereby you can just go and trade in your gadget in an Apple recognized shop, and they examine everything and they give you the difference between the gadget that you have and the one that you want, so that you can pay the difference. Those things are there, but the brokers are too intelligent, so that they are taking a lot from the owners of these gadgets, and they just keep the trade going, but they are eating a lot from the same plate that the people are from the people who are owning this, who are pre-owning these gadgets. So I hope this formula can come to Africa, but it will take a lot of time, because yet Apple is yet to introduce even its branches in Africa. I don't know whether, unless it is in South Africa, I don't know whether Apple has any branches or any stores in Africa, and that is telling a lot. In other news, American installations, that is armed forces, that is its army installation in Jordan were attacked by the Iran. Yesterday I talked about that, how Iran is trying to test the extent at which Americans can hold their anger back by just shooting aimlessly, and looking to see whether the US can start now retaliating so that they can escalate this thing. Although they are saying that there is diplomatic talks that are going on behind the curtains. We are still waiting to see and hear what is going on there. However, as we have seen through as this war develops, we can see that it is difficult to understand what is going on, because both countries, one is claiming it is winning this war and the other one also is claiming that it is winning. So far there is no clear cut on who is winning, because when the USA rises and starts bombing Iran seems to be unable to even to intercept any of the USA missiles. USA always intercepts most of the Iranian missiles, although they are saying that the proportion between the missile that is being intercepted and the interceptor, it is not what they looking to hit. It is true, the proportion or the difference is too big. So it means that the USA is burning a lot of its finances trying to intercept nonsensical drones and missiles from Iran. So the USA is seeing that the best way to escape this war is just to give a conversation, or to give diplomacy some chance so that they can see whatever is happening. So the ceasefire that has been going on since the USA declared some 14 days of war, it was induced by the USA, and Iran said that they're just going to stop bombing USA or throwing missiles at USA, just as the USA stopped. But when the USA stopped, Iran has not stopped and is trying to engage them and see if they can start literating. There are news that are saying that the US is not literating because they are running out of missiles, and also they are running out of places to bomb. This means that they have bombed all the targets that they thought they can instigate some pain onto the IRGC, but as you can see, they are not doing any of that. I talked about that and said that maybe the IRGCs are storing their weapons in the residential places where the USA cannot bomb, because these people do not care a lot about their people. They just care about their survival, and once they survive, they are going to know they are going to integrate with their people, because they can always use force to force their people to accept them as they are. They are like the bad children in a family. You find that in a family there are good people, but there is that one who does not care. So the Iranians and IRGC army, that is the one who is fighting the USA, these are the people who do not care about their people. They are like, our people can be used for collateral. When they are bombed or not, I really don't think we care. Because I saw some news that there was a boy who had aided some of the people who are giving information, who are criticizing IRGC. He gave them some support to escape from Iran, and immediately was recognized that he did that. He was executed. That is, he was just killed on the go. That means that Iranians, IRGC does not care so much about its people, and they are willing to do anything to cross any borders, to cross all the red lines, so for them to get their people to obey them. So that is something to look at. In the other news, the Saudi Arabians and the US today tried to bomb some terrorists in Iraq. They are saying that these Iraqis are throwing drones towards the Saudi Arabian oil facilities, and this triggered them to literate and bomb them, whereby 20 people in Iraq were killed. I don't know whether these were civilians or just normal people who are part of the terrorists who are trying to engage the Saudi Arabians or Saudi Arabian oil facilities. But it is fascinating to see that the Middle East now is becoming chaotic. It's becoming unsustainable, just becoming too hot for anything to go on. But sometimes it's difficult to understand how the life of these people are, because as much as you think that they are in chaos, so many other things are going, trades are going on, and everything else is going, and the economy is growing. So let us watch and see how this unfolds as they are attacking each other, because the Tehran, that IRGC saying that Saudi Arabians now are testing their patience, and Saudi Arabians, as much as they're saying they are literating from an attack that they got from the Iraqis, the IRGC or the Tehran does not understand why Saudi Arabia should be bombing people who are in their country. They just think that once you attack, you should just look for a democratic way to resolve that. But I don't know whether the Saudi Arabians are ready to receive this kind of blows while lying down. But let us see how that goes. In the other news, in Japan, there has been an earthquake in a magnitude of 7.1. That's a huge magnitude that can destroy houses, can destroy buildings. It is being said that 13 people have been declared dead out of that earthquake, and so many other people are trapped in a supermarket or in a mall. These tremors were witnessed in Kyushu Island in southwest of Japan, and the magnitude of that earthquake was so big such that it was even the tremors were felt by the people in South Korea. So you can imagine the kind of trouble that people are. Most of the Japan, or all the Japan, is made of islands. So when earthquake hit, it means that they might be strong and also might affect their lives so much. And they are trying to see how they are going to contain them. The search brigade is also doing their much or the best they can so that they can rescue people who are trapped in the mall. Japan's the people who have been prepared for their long since childhood to come and just to prepare for this kind of earthquake, or not to escape, or not to go and hide, or not to get some help when they happen, because they know that they are prone to tremors and earthquakes. So they are always prepared for any kind of magnitude of earthquake. But some of these things you cannot prepare enough because they are accidental, and most of the time they come unprepared. So this one hit, and many people are trapped in the mall, and others, they lost lives. That is to a tune of 13 people. When these numbers increase, or when more of this confirmation of this news come in, we are going to be telling you. Otherwise, that is it. That's all that I have for now. I'll be sharing more news when they come.